Welcome back to United TV. Sunderland nil, Manchester United nil, and disappointing. I think we expected maybe from the lineup that Man United would still have enough to get the job done. But we're going to be running a call-in show. This is for people to come on, have your say in the live chat as well. We will be posting a link. If you're a channel member, there is a link in the community tab for you to get fast track in. But we're going to cover this as well, get as many different voices on, and to start with. Just I suppose reaction to like what we're seeing now. We've got a couple of games to go. I think we're probably like top three is pretty much wrapped up. How are you feeling after that one?
Frustrated is the truth of it. I kind of said at the beginning that I thought Martinez starting was a mismatch, and I think it was evident. Robbie was all over him. Maguire also slow against Robbie. Defensive anchor was an issue. Mount didn't work out. That gamble didn't pay off. I was hoping he was going to make subs. I would have brought Heaven on second half at the beginning and manoeuvred Martinez into central midfield, taken Mount off. I would have brought on Dorgu on for Ahmed, and would have taken Xerxes off and brought on Mbumo. So he had all of those at his hand and he didn't take them. And that's my frustration, because sometimes you come up against a stubborn resilience team who are very fast on the counter and you change it. He didn't. And so I'm disappointed. That's the truth of it. Clean sheet, though. Just about.
That's one thing that no haircut for that guy. That's but Xerxes pretty much, I think, proven why he doesn't get into the team normally, and it's just a bit disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the attackers didn't have much joy because we couldn't get the ball out of midfield. And I will put this on Carrick. You know, I've always said when I call Carrick out when he's done well, and I'll call Carrick out when he could have done better. And I think the team set up, we got completely wrong. Martinez shouldn't have started. Don't know why he changed it up. Heaven was in form. He's the tall aerial dominance that we needed against a Robbie. Even Shaw was very lucky in that second half. So yeah, difficulties that could have been avoided. Mount, again, like I say, the gamble didn't pay off. We needed defensive anchors there. And Bruno, you couldn't get the ball to him. There was no link up. So that was one issue. The other issue was, our attackers were off their game. Strong, resilient Sunderland, very fast. They had 6 attempts in our box within the first 22 minutes. It took us 91 minutes to get our first shot on target. So, that tells you all you need to know. So difficult.
Yeah. The other thing I would say is when you have like about 50 windows open on your laptop, sometimes one fails, and that unfortunately is this one. No, as I said, if you're a channel member and you want to get involved immediately, there's a link in the community page. But in about 5 minutes, I'll just post a link and people can come on one by one to have your say as well. I'll just go through a few of the comments. So I don't think we're going to be fighting relegation. But again, this is it's disappointing, isn't it? It's a disappointing one.
Yeah, it's a disappointing one. Look, we're almost clear for third place. 6 points in it now. It's goal difference. It's the thing. We need 1 point from our last 2 matches, which I think is more than attainable. This, I think, was the easier of the 3. If he'd got it tactically right, I don't think he did. I hope he learns from it. Casemiro was a big loss. Let's have it right. If Casemiro was in that midfield, I think it's a completely different game because we've got 2 defensive anchors. Mainoo wasn't able to get out and help on the flanks. So they were swamping us on the flanks, finding a way through. There were quick balls cut in and out, home to Lafay, straight to Robbie, and time again, Talby on the other side. So yeah, we struggled. And look, these things happen. I always say, what's your response? I thought Carrick didn't have one, and that's disappointing. There were options on the bench that he could have changed.
No, we said. I remember saying at the start of when we saw the lineup, and we look at it. I said there's lots of bench options at least, because I was a bit concerned that we wouldn't have enough firepower in the first team. I was trying to be quite kind with Xerxes and saying like, let's see where he can fit in.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I know people like Xerxes, and I'm not going to say anything negative about him personally, but he doesn't carry a goal threat, does he? And for me, that's it just doesn't work for Man United. I don't know if it works in other teams, and I don't think it works in the Premier League. So I mean, I can just be as fair as I can and just say, it's one of those signings that didn't make a lot of sense, and we've seen that, haven't we? We've seen a player that's maybe struggled for first team football, and when he comes on, you go, yeah, I can see why. But to be honest, if you look at it, didn't most of us thought that we're not going to have the depth, and if we start rotating, I think everybody actually looks at the situation, thinks, next season we're not going to have the same squad, we're going to have extra players, and it's going to be a different scenario. Hopefully, that's what we're thinking.
Yeah, look, midfield. There's a reason why we're going for 3 midfielders this summer, and it was very blatantly obvious. Ugarte didn't make the bench. That's how woeful our midfield is. So he's put Mount in there. Casemiro's out, but this is a problem. We said it before. If Casemiro or Mainu are out, this is what we have, and we could not get the ball out from our defence. They came and get at us again and again and again. The defence again would have selected different players, but we couldn't get the ball out of midfield. So Bruno was never going to get any joy. Cunha, Ahmed, Ahmed was physically battled out of the game a lot of the time. The guy was all over him. I think it was Macaulay and Hume as well. So difficult, but then you look for answers and you try and change that. And I just think we came up short in making those changes.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to get some people in one by one, and we're going to have people have their say for like 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to get people in. If you join quite early and you're on, then you can come back in after other people have had their go. So it might be quite quick. But the idea is that hopefully we can do these more regularly, get people on to have their say. We're going to get Mo in. Big up to you, Mo. We've known each other for a few years. Thanks for becoming a member and supporting the channel. Great to get you on, Mo. And again, this is one of those options where if you're in the chat and you see a few things, you just want to have your say. This is your time, so we're not going to try and influence your opinion at all. So Mo, what do you want to say today?
So it was just poor all around. Like, it was very, very poor. I thought he got the lineup wrong, and I understand that there was some like players hurt. Casemiro, Sesko was hurt, but at some point during the match, if he saw that it wasn't working, he should have made the subs a lot sooner. But for everybody that's in the chat that's going crazy saying that we're gonna get relegated, I don't. No, we're not. But at the same time, Carrick needs he needs to learn from this game and get better and should more reactive as opposed, because I think he waited too long to bring on like all the subs, and so that's all I'm going to say. But the entire team, with the exception of I think Maguire and Lamans, were the two players that I thought played well. So I'll get off and then should let somebody else get on. But
yeah, I think that's a good point, though, Mo. I think that's a really good point. You look at the substitutions and like where were they earlier in the match, and do you agree with the bet? I mean, like 65 minutes, Dorgu comes on, 75 minutes, and Buemo comes on. I thought we saw enough in 45 minutes to see something not working, but
yeah, I mean, I was going to ask you, Mo. Good to see you. What would you have done differently with the starting lineup, and when would you have made those changes? What changes would they be?
So I mean, like Rich said, like after the first half, I probably would have put in the subs to start the second half. I thought maybe in Wemo should have came on at halftime because Ahmad was just not playing well. Maybe, and I know that he hasn't been playing well, but I did like so a few games before Martinez got hurt, he was playing in the midfield. So maybe move him to the midfield, bring in Heaven to play center back, and to maybe put Cunha as the 10, and because I mean, after the first half, it was he should have made those subs, because I didn't like the way that we were playing, and like I said, he needs to be more reactive and not wait till there's maybe 10 minutes to left in the game.
Yeah, I think that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think you're bang on. It's kind of like sometimes all you want to see is what's the plan B? What can we do to something different? If they're coming at you, give us a solution, give us an answer. Yeah, I understand that.
Because I'll say one more thing. I think it was a year or two ago we were playing Chelsea, and Chelsea's midfield was getting ran through, and I forgot who their coach was, but I think it was 29 minutes, or maybe even 32 minutes. He made 2 changes, and that changed the entire game. So that's why I want to see more from Carrick. Don't wait. If you see a problem, fix it, and it might help. But I'll let you guys talk, and I'll jump off of here.
Yeah, Mo, thanks for getting involved. And we're going to try and do these. So we're going to try and get as many people on as possible. So there might be quick calls, but you're welcome to come back in towards the end if you want to, Mo. But thank you for that.
Okay.
We're going to bring on, say, Belal to the stage, and be up to you, Belal. So we'll try and get through as many people as we can.
Hi,
what are
guys.
you thinking today, Belal?
Hi, Belal.
Well, I felt like that was one of the worst games I can remember as a United fan. I thought we were terrible. We just couldn't control the game. And I thought Xerxes was terrible. Yeah, worst games. Well, he has a lot of bad games, but that was one of his worst games I've seen. I wasn't really happy today.
What would you have done differently?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think with Xerxes that if you want to prove you're good enough, that we can debate it. There'll be other people with different opinions, but he didn't really shine today.
I would have taken Xerxes off at half time. I would have kept Heaven instead of Lisandro Martinez. I would have taken Mount off. I don't think he was that good today. Maybe didn't have one of his best games either.
Do you think it was the right formation? Do you think he could have done that differently? Do you think the substitutions were an issue? Do you think the starting lineup was an issue? What could he have done, considering the two key injuries that were missing today?
I don't think there's much you could have done with the formations today, but I just think it was more down to the players today. And I think because we qualified for the Champions League now, I think they just put their foot off the gas, and they think it's all right to play like this now. They think they don't need to do too much.
Did you think that we had an answer to their pace?
No, they were all over us. We just couldn't stop them. I don't think we had any answers at all.
This reminds me, when you see our team and people go, right, give this guy a chance. But also, there is I saw a few comments in the chat early on that you make a few changes, but there's some players that just, do you remember when Mazraoui came back and hadn't played for ages? And you look at it and go, and do you remember going back a few years when Man United had almost the same 11 for ages, and you bring in, who was the guy we brought in? The left back was supposed to replace Luke Shaw. And we bring in fullbacks that never played for ages. Tevez. And Tevez looked like he hadn't kicked the ball for 5 months, and he barely had. And I was just thinking, Xerxes is going to leave, isn't he? He's got no interest there.
Yeah, he's going.
It felt a bit like an end of season game, unfortunately, where there's I think with this one that I'm not saying it's job done, but it's like I think you have to also say that Sunderland are not going to roll over. They've had some bad defeats, and they were up for it today. And I think with Man United, I'm not going to be. I'm a bit. Also, I'm disappointed Man United haven't won, but it's like it's one of those things, isn't it, where you look at it and think it's not the worst. It's disappointing.
It
But
was
then
just a
under
bit
Michael
boring.
Carrick, a bad day. Yeah, a bad day is like drawing 0-0, losing 1-0, and
Yeah,
it's
I
frustrating.
was really frustrated though.
Well,
Just couldn't control the ball.
I was going to ask what frustrated you most about that game?
Just not controlling the ball and like losing the ball every 5 seconds. That was the most frustrating, and not finishing our dinner.
It's hard to finish when you just don't get many chances, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I mean, that
I
was,
think we should have started in Bruno, actually. I forgot to mention it. I feel like we should have started in Bruno.
Do you know what I find sometimes? Like, I don't know if you think this, but when some players are playing badly, like Buemo, and people go, right, bench him, I was thinking he's still like better than the options, though. That's the thing, that he can have a
He's
bad
much
game, he's
better than
still
the
good.
rest. Yeah.
Now, should we get? What we're going to do is we're going to get the next caller in, but Belal, you're welcome to come back on at the end. We're going to try and do like 5-minute calls, get people on, so everybody can have a say quite
right.
early on. But you're welcome to come on. We'll go for about 90 minutes, I think,
All
or
right.
until I get too
I'll
hungry.
see. Yeah, I'll see if I could. Yeah, I'll see about that. Yeah.
They're welcome to come back on. No, big up to you, Belal. Thanks for calling in. This is kind of an experimental stream, so thanks for getting involved and getting your opinion. I was hoping we'd be talking about a great win, and then there could be different like discussions about. We could talk about Bruno's assists, but I feel like it's going to be a bit harder today. But big up to you though. Thank you for that.
Big up.
Sure, it's a shame we didn't do this format after the Liverpool game. It'd be absolutely fantastic. It'd be like absolutely fantastic to get all the enthusiasm on. But we're going to bring on Vicky, and it's been a while, Vicky, but great to speak to you again. Hopefully, you're quite positive. I'm quite positive. But how are you feeling about it today? Try and spin it to people that are negative.
Wait a minute, can you hear me? You can. It's okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can hear you.
Wait a minute. That's all. Matsuari was pretty good.
Yeah.
That header could have made some really bad choice, but it went in a good way. I like that, obviously. But I don't know why everybody's like getting really upset about it. It's a 0-0 draw. It's like, yeah, maybe they've put their foot off the gas a little bit, but I don't know. Is it worth being like, that's the worst performance I've ever seen? Do we remember Amarin? Do we remember all the substitutes he made? It was terrible.
I've seen us lose 7-0. That was definitely down there.
Yeah. What was it, that Brentford game with was it Eric Ten Hag's second game? That felt much worse than this 0-0. It was rainy, it was wet, it was cold. It was just not a vibe today.
What could you take from that performance, Vicky?
Ahmed and Brian, because I always mess up his surname. Sorry.
Sure.
He does. They're not having the best season since they come back from the Africa tour, so I wouldn't mind somebody looking into that. The defense was everywhere, but that's normal now. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think Luke Shaw's injured? Because my teenager just told me that he is.
Not being made aware of it.
No, sorry.
Yeah, I'm
sorry,
not sure if he's
I'm everywhere.
100% because it was like a doubt, wasn't he? A couple of games. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, I guess with Luke Shaw, he wants to play every single match because that would be something of a revelation. But I don't know. I'd say that for me, there's credit that we've got another clean sheet. We haven't conceded a goal. Lamans is again coming out for credit. Best signing we made this season, probably.
What, Le Mans?
Yeah, I think yeah, he did well. So MD Samurai says a draw. We're in third place. What people are talking about? I think it's just we've had. Do you remember when well, I can't remember the guy's name that's supposed to cut us out. Do you remember when we had 4 wins, then we drew against West Ham, and there was almost like meltdown. And it's like we've beaten Liverpool, we've beaten Chelsea, we've beaten Brentford, 3 tough games, and we've gone away to Sunderland, drawn. And it's like that's not the end of the world, is it? It's
No, we're not Chelsea right now, are we? We're definitely not Spurs.
no, I know Chelsea fans that they're I don't know what to think about that club, to be honest.
Would you agree that there were things that maybe Carrick could have done differently second half?
Sorry, say that again.
Would you agree there are things that Carrick possibly could have done differently second half to affect the game?
Problem is, from what I can tell with Carrick, and this is only just my opinion, so it can definitely be wrong here, he seems to want to put some faith in players and give them a bit more time than they probably should have. Like, I would have taken Ahmad off. Yeah, I would have taken Ahmad off. Mason Mount, I felt he felt invisible to me, so maybe a bit of a change. But yeah, I probably. It was definitely a midfield crisis today more than anything for me. And Xerxes, bless him. Like, I have to say bless him because he. Sorry, it's like I'm a mum, so I just go, oh, that's really. You tried. That header was terrible, and I just about caught that. But it was just like a meh kind of vibe for me today, and but it's not a loss, and I don't think. I think Sunderland felt a little bit unlucky, so with themselves, thinking that they should have won that, and all their housery that they were doing. But there we go. I'm not very good at this anymore, I don't think. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So as we've got you on, Vicky, I don't think we've spoken to you in depth about Carrick. What's your view on the manager?
Well, yeah, I'd just keep him. Like, every manager, with every football team, there's always like, I don't see anybody else making the changes and fixing the problems any different than what's out there, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah.
The whole thing is with me with the managers thing is like Ineos on all of their football teams do not keep managers for long. They don't seem to have like the blueprint of having a long-term like manager. They just don't. They get rid of them all the time. So I don't know why I would go into in depth looking for a manager, because they'll just go, well, they don't mind like contract issues. I don't think actually in this time anymore, managers are long term anymore to me. I don't. I just the way that Spurs have been, Chelsea have been, and we have been, and who else? Anyhow, see, look, I'm getting all sorry. Oh, sorry.
That's it's fine. I think there's like lots to think about, isn't there, with this one? Like, I quite like the idea of Carrick getting different coaches and evolving the coaching squad and not being, it's not being like too dramatic and going, right, we need to definitely change everything. I think there's something there, but I don't know. It's obviously up to the club to decide what the options are. I'm kind of open-minded. If Carrick stays, I'll be backing him and hoping that we progress. If it gets replaced, I'll be interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is that I think the transfers are key. That we have to make sure whoever's in charge has to be backed. I think that's what everybody agrees with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we're going to try and do more of these, Vicky. So thanks for getting involved. And it's always good to get your views and opinions. And
Vicky,
everyone's going to have a different one. Yeah, it's a shame there's not loads of talking points, isn't it?
I was going to say, please don't apologise. You're brilliant, and I've seen you over the years on this show, and you're just excellent. So it's really good to talk to you and to hear where you're at with the football.
Yeah, Maybe I should have thought about this. I've taken notes. I haven't taken notes in a minute because I haven't been going
Right.
online.
Next time, Vicky, we're going to be at Old Trafford. Casemiro will wear the armband. Renee will get a couple of assists, and we'll be like talking about all this stuff. It'll be
So-
brilliant.
Oh yeah, I want to come back and be toxic positive again.
It wasn't the most illuminating match, so it's fully understandable.
Just imagine though, we might have had myself and like Wiz about talking for like 90 minutes on player ratings, going through like.
Well, according to Andy Mitten, it was like it felt like 0 degrees. So I think everybody was just cold, wet, and miserable.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you for having me. I'm gonna go and do. I've got 10 miles to do today. Oh. Anyway, but
Oh, good luck with that. It sounds energetic.
I'm doing a charity walk. 1,500 miles in 90 days. So.
Oh, lovely.
Soon. So I'm just trying to build up my leg strength for it.
Very well.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, I wish you good luck with it. Anything you were saying? Sorry.
No, thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome, Vicky. Anytime. And
yeah, next week.
We'll get you on very soon. Cody says like your voice is comforting him, but he's annoyed. But maybe he'll come in and talk about it himself. Yes.
Well, I'll be listening on with my earbuds. So
yeah, excellent. I thought it might be great to do these sort of things because when people in the comments getting angry or getting happy, it'd be quite nice to get everybody on. So now, Vicky, you're brilliant coming on, and hopefully we'll speak to you very soon.
Thank you. Right, I'm going to go listen to you guys now. Have a good one.
Yeah,
bye.
No, you can go and ban people in the comments now, and we'll.
Yeah.
Bye. Cheers, Vicky.
Bye.
Now we're going to bring on someone I've not spoken to for years, but big up to Renee in the chat. I've seen it backstage.
Hi.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Yes, it has been a hot minute. Actually, I ruptured and retore my ACL again last September.
Ooh.
Don't know how. Have really massive scars now. But yeah, it's been a while. How have you been?
Doing good. I mean, if we did a call-in show maybe like most of last year, it would have been I don't know, it'd been damage limitation with that anger, but now I think there's a lot
yes, I will say.
I think it's bad timing for us. We picked the one match that has been a bit underwhelming recently, but
yeah, honestly, this is on par with the Leeds game. Lack of possession. First 5 minutes, we've given the ball how many times? That was, I think, the biggest thing I've noticed since I've been on leave for surgery and stuff, so I've been able to catch some games, and possession has been a massive problem for us. We have sent the ball everywhere and anywhere. There's no urgency to the ball. No, but I'm seeing comments like we're not a possession-based team. It does not fucking matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. If we do not control the ball, we do not control the game. Giving the ball away. Like, I'm watching, I get the hurried up passes. We're not doing tiki-taka. Tiki-taka's long done gone. Like, it's more like we're not, even though we're in a hurry, we still need to slow down. Stop for 2 seconds. Look up. Just look up. It's basic. It's fundamentals. Like, we got to stop and look to see where we're going. We're giving up easy balls. We aren't quick to the ball. Like last match we were against Liverpool, and it looked great. Like, we were to the ball, like 2-man to the ball, like we're cutting off angles, like, but this, like, there was no urgency. There was, like, we were giving up everything. The middle was wide open. I mean, obviously not having Casemiro in the middle was a huge deal, which I believe is going to be a massive problem for us in the summer. We need to find someone to replace him who can control the middle and bring the play back in. Like, I feel like we're trying to do too many things at the same time. Watching how we transition from play from back to front and front to back is very slow. I just think we need to work on that. I mean, yeah, we've never been a possession-based team, but we have to have something. These back four are getting pushed back, and the midfield is not urgent. without Casemiro, and I feel like that is a massive problem for us. And we're heading right back to where we were before we even got Casemiro, as far as like there should have been no reason.
Renee. Like,
Sure.
I like what you're saying. Like Casemiro, Casemiro's going to go. Who do you want to come in? Like, because obviously we're going to be trying to rebuild midfield, and you like the focus on possession. Who do you want to see come into the club?
Honestly, I don't really have a player. I've been kind of looking around, and I don't really know if I have a like one specific person to come and replace Casemiro. I mean, I kind of already figured we were going to have that problem anyways, regardless of how long he stayed with us. I think we need to find someone who is a physical CDM, and I'm not sure who we could go with or even is available.
I was thinking
take that.
Tchouaméni is shown to be
That I
very
would take. I would
physical
take another
recently.
Madrid. I will absolutely take another Madrid center mid.
He's a physical machine, put it that way. From what
yes. I
we've heard.
mean, I would also love to take Vinny for the wing, but I don't think Daddy Paredes is going to let us have both. I would rather have the center mid established. We can find somebody to fill that winger role. I think if you cannot control the center of the park, you cannot control the game. I mean,
Entirely.
that's how I was taught. If you cannot control the fucking midfield,
Yeah.
you will not control the game. And that is massive for us because we've always been a midfield team. Like, we've always been that strong center mid. We don't have that, and quite honestly, we have not had that since Paul Scholes and Roy Keane, and we got Casemiro and Bruno, and since we've got Casemiro, that has freed Bruno to do what Bruno needs to do, but we need to find a CDM or a center mid that will let Bruno do what Bruno does, to be the pendulum in the middle that Roy Keane, like what Roy Keane was for Paul Scholes. Stuff like that. We need that center mid to solidify. The back four gets to do what the back four does. That leaves your strikers, your wingers to do what they need to do. I don't know if there is anybody other than Tchouaméni to do that. I mean, I don't know. Like, we are not, like, I don't know. Our possession is garbage. And that's a big problem for me, I think, just because how easy we give the ball up. And then we don't have one or two people cutting off angles, one to man, one to the off man. Like, we're not where there's no urgency. So I'm just kind of worried that losing Casemiro is going to open and expose the back four like we did before we even got him about what 4 years ago.
I think it was I agree with you. I think it was very evident today that we didn't have two defensive anchors. Normally, Mainly can sit in the 6, or Casemiro can sit in the 6, and the other one roams. And I think the idea was that Mainly would roam, but he was off his game. Yeah, he was off his game today. And I think against Sunderland, you really just needed two defensive anchors. And I think
Yes.
in that regard, we really missed Casemiro today.
That's how massive he is. I was screaming him for years to come to United. Didn't think he was going to come. Ended up getting him. But I'm like, how massive a player Casemiro is. And I want to ask you guys, like, who would you guys think would be the good replacement for Casemiro? Because I think we're going to have to fork out for a CDM here, I think, at the end of the season, before transfer window opens.
Before we answer that, what's your favourite? I know you said Tchouaméni. Is there anyone else that you would think of? Because they're talking about 3 midfielders, possibly this summer, certainly 2.
I think Tchouaméni was the big one for me, just because, I mean, where he is a Madrid player, he does not fit in with Madrid. He's kind of like Dunga with Brazil, where he fits into the system where he's not ideal for that system of play. Like, he'll do what he needs to do and it will get done, but I think he would fit better with us, just because it's a more physical league than La Liga is. Otherwise, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these teams are not letting midfielders go. From what I see, it's a lot of strikers and center backs that are going. So I'm not sure who else would even be considered.
We've been having this discussion for a couple of weeks now on the streams, and there is a plethora of names. Belieber can play that role if he finds his form back, but it's interesting. He's gone from sitting almost like an 8th last season to a 6th this season, so there's variability in him. There's Stiller, who also is a hybrid 6'8". There is Anderson, who is prolific in man marking. He can play the 8 really well. He can be defensive really well. He can join the attack very well. And what's kind of nice about all of these roles, it sounds like they're going to start Mainu, but Mainu has the versatility of either playing as a 6 or an 8. So we have flexibility in who we bring in. But I agree with you. As a deep lying anchor, there is no one in the world, in my opinion, that is better than Tchouaméni. And he has top 1 progressive passes against the top 5 leagues currently. So, we have scope for changing positions there too.
We could be lucky, couldn't we? We could be that he's just not what Real Madrid want.
He's not a Madrid. He's not, honestly, in all honesty, if you watch how he plays, he's not a Madrid player. He's not meant for the La Liga. He's too physical. He's a big CDM. Like, he's not as big as Casemiro is, but we didn't have big players when we had Paul Scholes or Roy Keane either. So I think he's probably a shout. Like, is he worth the money? Like, is this something that the club is willing to invest in for long term? Because he's not old. Because he would be a long-term solution, but also I think we would have to potentially find someone like what we did with, like, in '99 when we got Blomqvist for Giggs, someone to relieve him, because I mean he's not going to play every single game. That's not feasible. I mean, obviously we would like to see our players play every single match, but that's not possible.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Are we going to grab anybody from Spurs?
Maybe, I would say maybe with like the rebuild, or what we're hoping is a rebuild, maybe there'll be some genuine competition. So we'll buy players and they won't necessarily walk into the team. They will be maybe expected to be first team players, and maybe a bit of healthy competition will kind of gradually drive up performance. So, I think Maine is great. It'd be great to have some competition, which is not provided by Agate, and have like if we got some like Belieber or Anderson or. Have some like options maybe.
Are we getting rid of Ugarte because he is not?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God! Oh my God! Okay.
He wasn't even on the bench today.
Okay, thank God. Because I like when Maguire was suspended, and Rich knows I'm a huge Maguire fan. How massive is he at the back? Like, we saw that in the back four too with Maguire being gone, and we went from, well, at least most of the fan base went from cheering that Maguire was out to needing Maguire, and that's what we're seeing in the midfield right now. And it's like, what do we do? Like, we're looking at we're looking at midfield, but like, I want to ask, like, are we going to be looking at signing another striker this off season, or are we good with what we have?
I don't know. So for some reason, I've got this guess that we keep being linked to left wingers, and then some of the left wingers we're linked to seem to be also able to play striker. So I'm wondering whether Man United might be thinking, can we get someone that effectively does like what Mbeumo does, where he plays on the right, but sometimes he plays in the middle, and go for a left side version? I'm just wondering whether they're going to be trying to get some versatility into the squad. So
do we go after Vinny?
I would love a backup striker. To answer your question, Renee, I would love to get a backup striker, because if Sesko's injured,
we don't have anybody. Like, we don't. There's no one. Like, who do we get? We got to throw somebody up there.
I think the problem we have with Vinny.
Big up to Daz as well. Daz Salford 69. Big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thanks for supporting the channel, Daz. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think what one of the problems that may be with Vinny is the wage structure, and I think they've spent so much time trying to bring that down. I don't see them bringing that up.
He reminds me of George Best, just his antics, just his personality. And he's a kid. He's a baby. Much like you, I need him to calm down, before he comes to United, because he's going to cause all kinds of problems if we cannot keep, like, it's not the 90s where Sir Alex is knocking on doors going, what are you doing? We have a match tomorrow. Like, unless you want to get benched, you're going to go to bed, kind of thing. And
Yeah, I think we're gradually bringing that back, aren't we? That we seem to sign people like when we signed Sunderland, and I think we joked about it about a year ago before he signed, and so we'd be quite happy to get really efficient, maybe boring people that aren't going to be like Lamans isn't going to be in the media. He's essentially just turns up, plays well, goes home.
I
There's
also,
nothing in the media, is there?
I think he's been probably the best signing we've had all year. He's doing stuff Onana wish he could do to stop these balls, because watching Onana, oh my, the guy gave me gray hairs, I swear. I mean, we pulled the best keeper we could have pulled, and he does nothing. That's a problem.
We got lucky, didn't we? To be honest, like I think that somehow, do you agree with Swedes are better? Do we get lucky that we tried to sign Delap, we couldn't get him? We were probably looking at Donnarumma, but City
Why
got
did
him.
we
It's
not?
like we kind of like
How did we not get
fortunate.
Donnarumma? That is one of the keepers I was kind of hoping we would have nabbed, but obviously City with their oil money.
Yeah.
I was really happy with Lamens because I kind of just thought I was hoping to get a young up and coming goalkeeper who's going to be up with us for the next 10 years or so, especially after having two goalkeepers that had both failed dramatically over the last 2 years. So I was really happy that we got Lamens. He'll get better, and yeah, I'm so glad we didn't go after Martinez.
He'll get better, but is that already really good, isn't he? Like it seems to be already really
I
composed.
feel like he's fit into the system. If you watch his movements, you wouldn't have guessed this guy was a transfer in. I mean, I'm kind of hoping I actually mentioned this to Brit somewhere with Tino, but Lamens reminds me a little bit of Van der Sar. He's a little bit lanky. He's really kind of gangly, but he's smart with the ball. And I've noticed he's, like, you can see it in his face, like he wants to make the move but doesn't, wait and lets the play go, rather than whatever that disaster Onana presented at the box. The back four look relaxed. They are not overcompensating like they did with Onana.
Yeah.
Like, they're not panicking. So if the ball goes back to him, there's not a scramble to get. You don't see people running around all crazy trying. It's relaxed. Okay, build back. That's another thing we got to work on, I think, is building back from the back. We're so slow. Like, we got to go. There's got to be some sense of urgency at all times, I believe, in the pitch. Even though if we're winning, we're tied, whatever that may be, like, we have got to have some sense of urgency and move with efficiency to, potentially get ourselves to, get a free kick, get a goal, a corner, something. Like, yes, like we looked like today, we looked like we clinched UCL and we played like we did not care because we were already in. That's essentially the vibes I got from it. It looked disorganized. We were just doing whatever, and we just hung on for the draw. And that's not how United play. Like, we got to go for the 3 points. Like, it's 3 points 100% of the time. Like, we got to go all out. Doesn't matter if we've qualified for UCL. It does not matter because we are going to get dog walked in UCL if we don't figure something out. Like, play like this is going to send us.
We'll have to get the next caller on, but you've been an excellent caller, and hopefully we'll get you one more.
Yes.
It's been too long though. It must have been several years since I've spoken to you.
Yeah, I took a long break, had kids, surgery, fun stuff. So kind of trying to come back now.
Hopefully that goes well, and hopefully recovery's.
I'm back to work. I'm back to work now. Yay! Said nobody ever, but getting there.
No, it's been brilliant speaking to you, and we're gonna get you on more often, says Tyrone. We will do that as well.
I am always down.
When it works out time-wise, because you're in the US, we'll do that. When it works out, and we might do some late-night ones. But big up to you, Renee. Thank you so much, and say hello to Britt as well.
I will.
And we will speak to you very soon, hopefully.
Lovely
All right.
speaking to you, Renee.
Thank you.
All the best. So I saw some in the comments saying we need more rants. People are generally kind of relaxed, chilled. I think a lot of people. It's not just about this one game, is it? For a lot of people, it's about just again, some people I've not spoken to for years. So we're having like a chat about the whole kind of situation at the club as well. But big up to Renee. I've known Renee 3 or 4 years. Renee's going to come back on. She's taking a little bit of a break, but that'll be good to see. So I've been under a couple of comments I've seen that Jeff said he's got a hot take, and we're going to see what Jeff's going to be saying as well. So we need Grace to speak on Dallo. So I don't know if Dallo hype is required for many streams, but if we do need that unique skill set, we will definitely get her on if she wants to get involved.
He was man of the match today, wasn't he?
It's interesting that everybody's got a favourite player. I've never met someone that's favourite player is Dallo before, but good for Dallo. He's at least got someone in his corner. He probably needs it sometimes with some of the comments I read.
True.
We missed Dallo today, says Tyrone. He's much better than Masrari. There you go. Some pro Dallo content for some people. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, I'm gonna rant.
Jeff, you know what? You're welcome to say, within reason. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna cuss or say anything, controversial that way. But I am gonna rant because the fact that Stuart Atwell was the VAR last week, and then turns around and becomes our referee this week when he had 2 controversial calls last week, it is unacceptable. They have to put in the form to PGMOL to say that they want him at least suspended from our matches for at least 1 year. And they get a certain number of referees that they can put in and request not to do their matches. It's a little known thing out there. They do it in all the professional leagues. People call it a blacklist. It's not really a blacklist. It's just if you can show cause, then you can ask for them not to be on your matches for a certain amount of time till they can get their act together. And this guy has it out for us. Some of the things that went on today both ways, there could have been a red card either way from some of the ridiculousness that was going on. But the fact that he is not following the laws of the game is doing my head in. I mean, it's just so obvious, and especially when it's against us. Now, the foul calls were pretty even, but some of the most important things that he should have called in the penalty area, he did not call. We should have had 2 penalty kicks, and they should have had 1. And I'm not being biased. I'm going to tell the truth. And the guy that hit Bruno in the face should have been off for violent conduct, and the guy that Martinez hit in the face should have been off for violent conduct. This guy's a joke, and it's not a funny joke.
That was. What did you think of that Bruno incident? Because they said it was non-violence. Was what they said. What did you think of that?
It just proves that he has no clue. He's a horrible referee. If you're going down the pitch and I pass the ball away and you take your forearm and smack me in the face, he teed him up. He was looking at his head when he swung his arm. That is the definition that they teach you in the pro clinic. It's called targeting. Okay, and he targeted him.
I was going to agree with you, Jeff. Like, G-Wolf was doing a watch along, and he said I think it might have been that thing you're talking about, and he said it was literally like he looked at the player and then moved his arm. It was like it was intentional. That's the thing. It's not accidental.
Yes, and Martinez punched Broby right in the face. Nothing. They didn't even look at it. Or if they looked at it for half a second, and whoever was in the VAR was like, "Well, you're not calling anything else, so I'm not giving you that one." Whoever was in the VAR today kept the game from getting completely out of control because he saw the mistakes that Atwell was making and did not add to the chaos.
It was crazy, that Martinez incident, because I thought you've just come back from suspension.
They were wrestling around. Broby grabbed his jersey and went a little low when he grabbed his shorts. I don't know if there's anything else going on there, but then Martinez came up and just basically punched him in the face. I couldn't believe it. And then when they didn't even really review it, I was like, wow. But okay, so those were even, right? Then on to the next thing. If we next year go in and continue to play to the level of our opponents, we're never going to get to where we want to be. We win on the big teams because we show up, right? And then everybody else that's mid-table and below, we just kind of play to their level. And hey, if we get a couple of goals, great. And if we don't, well, then we draw or we lose late in the match. And that's what we easily could have lost today. And I'm so over it. But again, the two in the middle, I got to be quick. So can I fire through a couple things and then I'll let you guys talk about it?
Yeah, I'm interested because people that don't know you, you're obviously a professional referee, so you're obviously a Man United fan as well, but you're trying to be, like I said, focused on the facts and things.
I'm firing off 2 emails, one to Howard Webb and one to PGMOL, and just going, hey, look, in this minute they did. I've even got it written down. I know the minutes and I know the incidents, and I'm going to be like, dude, you are ahead of the referees. You are ahead of the training for all the referees. How can this be going on in this day and age?
What I was going to say though, Jeff, for context, sometimes there's decisions where people are complaining and you'll say, no, that's fair. So there are decisions that go against Man United that you.
Maguire and Broby wrestling around in the box. That was fine because when they went down to the other end, they were doing the same thing. That's what I talk about when I'm talking about even. He let the even go on that. The physicality, he was letting them be really physical today, which is fine. But when you start making contact to the head and face with fists and forearms, you have lost the plot.
Jeff, can I ask you, what was your view on the Shaw and Broby incident in the penalty area?
Again, they were wrestling. And Shaw was getting wrestled on the other end. Now, look, could he have called it? Yeah, maybe. But the way that he was letting everything else go in that type of contact, it would have been really hard to sell.
Yeah, it was kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I felt in that.
Absolutely, and that's what I talk about when he's calling. He's doing give and take. He's letting it go both ways, right? So as long as you're letting it go both ways, great. I had no problem with that. Again, when you start making contact to the head with fists and forearms, you have lost the plot.
Because that chappie on Bruno, he kind of got his elbow in, and then. It's like he waited and then just left and carried on running, and I just thought, he knew exactly what he was doing there. I've got a question. You talked about our performance. Do you have any sympathy for Carrick in the fact that Casemiro and Sesko are out?
No, none. Because again, what's he going to do next year when he loses players? You have, and again, I don't think it's him. It doesn't matter who the manager's been. The last 4 managers. The players play to the level of their opponents, and they don't care what the man. I'm telling you, I know Carrick has given them clear instruction, okay, and they're not doing it. And again, today the crossing was horrible. I saw Shaw's crosses were directly to the other team every time. There was 3 times he could have pulled it back to the player standing at the top of the penalty area, and he passes it flat across because he can't swing his hips anymore. And I'm just over it. He's got to go. Mazraoui had a bad game. Kobe had a great game against Liverpool and then turned around with a stinker today. Once he saw that Mount was getting just bullied, he should have been staying back. Stay back and play too. There was enough people going forward that he didn't need to get up there all the time. But yet he was in the penalty area every time I turn around and they lose the ball. And again, like I tell everybody, he doesn't have recovery speed. If you're going to play him deep, he's going to be effective. He can control the ball and move it around. But last week, he was showing bursts of speed, and today it was like his legs were completely dead. Still controls the ball good. He still moves the ball around well. And when he did stay back, he was passing the ball effectively. But, again, I'm going to say this. Look, I watched the Liverpool-Chelsea game before our match, and Enzo and Caicedo were getting run through the whole match. So it's not just us. I'm wondering if we're going to need to change the system. All right, I got to run, but I'll type other things that I'm upset about, but those are the key things. Atwell cannot do our matches, or we're always going to have a problem.
I think I might follow suit and wing an email off too. I don't think I've got the connections you have, though, Jeff.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know you were done already. Thanks. Oh, let me get that. You got it, sir? Okay. Oh, no, you're fine. Take your time.
It doesn't know he's on. I think you might need to mute him.
Have a good day, y'all.
Take care, Jeff.
Cheers, Jeff. So just I saw a comment from Tyrone. So what do you make of the ref decisions before we get the next person on?
Myself.
Yeah, because obviously Jeff's an angry referee tonight, but a referee most of the time. Usually like, things happen and we've got Man United fans complaining that something's gone against them, and Jeff's like, no, it's that's a fair decision. So he doesn't like that guy, does he? So
yeah, and to be fair,
let's see, we'll see. But if you want to come on, Ryan, I know it's not ideal for people, but if you want to come on, like I did say we'll get Kayode on next, who's going to be, I don't know if Cody's angry, so it's a guess whether he's angry or not. To be honest, the beauty of this stream is I have literally no idea what people's opinions are until they come on the stream. So we've had a big range of opinions. There's a link pinned in the chat, Omar. But let's get Kayode on. How are you feeling? Kayode, are you good?
Well, I could have given that the game ended a long time ago, but it was very, very bad game. I think this was worse than the Leeds game. And the reason why we don't think so is because we drew, clean sheet, all those things are beautiful. This is how you know the game is bad. The average Sunderland fan would think we were unlucky not to win. So if Sunderland think they were unlucky not to win against Manchester United, that just tells you how far we've fallen. Yes,
Kayode, I think your volume is okay. Are you able to come just closer to the mic, just so we can hear you crisply?
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a bit better.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. So I was saying that
use your angry voice.
You didn't get me on right at the right time, so I've cooled off, and Renee and the other people have made me cool off. Because they don't care about the game. Why should I be angry? They played like, we're passing through it, Sunderland, let's see what happens. No urgency. Tell me one point in the game that they were chasing and say, we've got the score, time is going. Not one moment. Not one moment. So I don't want to hear, Cars didn't play, didn't play. No, that's not acceptable. For a side like Sunderland that got battered by Forest, and it's not like Forest didn't have some injury. So I'm saying this game is worse than the Leeds game, but the only reason we don't realize it is because we didn't lose. So you played 0-0 against Sunderland, and the fans think they were unlucky not to win. That tells you that it's a very bad performance. It should be the other way around, like, we kept hitting the woodwork, we were unlucky not to win. So I was really disappointed. I didn't like the selection. I told you it looks like we're underestimating them. I didn't like the selection. It looked too weak. It looked too flat. It's similar selections like this that brought up the Grimsby moment. No matter the team you are, if you field a weak team, you become like a small team and you still carry the name Manchester United. So I didn't enjoy the game. It was worse than the average Arsenal game. Danny can testify others. So even if we scored a late winner, let's say double, Cunha, score, I won't say I've been happy. So it's not just about winning. It's the mannerism of the game, is the approach, no urgency. Say, okay, let's get it.
You're just frustrated that it's lackluster.
It's more like,
I think.
It's more like, it's okay, we don't lose, we draw. And okay, see, Liverpool drew today. Why not win and extend the gap? Then maybe you try out more players in the next game when it's totally sealed. No, I draw too. So I don't know. The game was, I was very disappointed. And we're on a winning run. What's stopping us from going to 4? Why do we have to stop from winning 3 games? How can you beat Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool, and draw to Sunderland? That's something Arsenal will do. So it was, I wasn't pleased. I wasn't pleased with the game at all. I know Carrick has his own side where he's short-handed with the people to field, but some of the selections, the timing of the subs. So like I was saying in the chat, if you are fielding your best 11, you can wait at halftime, shout at them, yell at them, then wait for a while to see if the change will happen. But if you're not fielding your best 11, you change it immediately. Because I believe you should have brought Mbeumo on early, unless he has an injury or a knock that they're not telling us. But if that's not the case, I don't know why. Ahmad has been having stinkers. So I don't see the reason why he kept him on that long. So
do you agree with that? It's about that a general the thought that subs should have been earlier, lackluster performance, and Jeff said something similar that maybe
Sorry, what did you say?
playing better against better teams, playing not so good against other teams. Which I don't know. Maybe there's you could look at that based on results. Our best performances have been against Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, Sunderland did what they did, and I'm someone who knows what they were going to do. So I'm sure the great technicians at Manchester United would have known what they were going to do. They take you out to the flank. They do a 2v1 or a 3v2. They wait for you to make a mistake. And Xhaka or Siddiqui thrusts the ball up high. And they're progressive passers, and they're quick. And they're in the box. Lafay or Hume or Taliba get the ball into Bobby and he'll take a shot. On another day, Bobby would have scored. And so if I know that, surely Man United knew that. And I just don't think they set up. I think against Bobby, you need height. So you don't play Martinez, you play Heaven. If you have a problem in midfield, you play another defensive anchor. And then maybe you get in a Martinez. Not his position, but he's going to do better than Mount. Do you play Xerxes when he's, this is his fifth start this season, not scoring? Or do you play Mbumo? These are questions for Carrick. Or if you do go down that route, what do you do second half? Do you change it? And do you make those subs early? So I think there were things he could have done differently. He didn't know how to counter them. We were trapped in our own half. We weren't having many touches in the opposition box. It took us 91 minutes to get a shot on target. That tells you everything. So you need to change it, as far as I'm concerned. I would have done it completely differently if I was managing that team. I certainly wouldn't have started Martinez as a centre back. I really wouldn't have.
Another point I'd like to make is, most people say, okay, Cars didn't play, so you can't control the game and you can't win. I reckon that that's not true. If you win games by controlling possessions, then Man City will never lose because they always dominate. Okay, I asked you, Everton, Man City, who had the better chances? Everton had lots of chances. They were wasteful. They were even 3-1 before City came back into the game. Do you know how much possession Everton had? 25%. So there's no excuse. So even if Cars wasn't in the game, you don't have to control the game. Take your chances, carve them apart, make a good. Okay, say Bruno is itching for an assist. He didn't get an assist. So that's another thing that annoys me about the game. So let's say he got an assist 1-1. I might still chill. So the game is just dry, no goal, no assist. It's just blank, like a void. So I felt like we ought to do better. And all these sides will begin to take note of stuff like this, like our fear factor. So when we're playing Forest, why should they be afraid of us? Or Brighton, when we can't even score against Sunderland? You see my point. So you've got to change it up. You've got to mix the playoff similar to what we deserve better. It's saying. So it's not just about the personnel. Change your tactics, change your approach on the pitch with what you have.
And the reason I call it out is because I called it out in Amrin, and I really appreciate all the work Carrick's done. But I think I think it's only fair that if you do see something different that could have been done, you say it. It's not about saying that Carrick, is untouchable. Carrick is learning, as all managers do. He's only been in charge for 15 games. He has limited players, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he could have changed something in that game. We could have lost today.
We're not trying to change people's opinions. Like, people have different views. Like Niche Fan in the comments said that he got some things wrong, and Daz says, if anything, it highlighted the midfield problem. Maybe Carrick sending the board a message. I don't know if that would be the case. I think sometimes you've got to look at it, and he's got to change the squad a little bit. Maybe Casemiro had a knock. We don't know the details. Like when you get the matchday squad, but we're not going to, they're not going to say what the reasons are. But maybe you're looking at a situation where you need to move the squad around a little bit for the last few games. There might be different reasons.
He's also auditioning for the permanent role, so I'm not sure he would kind of take that chance to kind of send a message. The message he wants to send is we're winning games and we can find solutions.
He wants to win every game, doesn't he?
The sending a message thing is something Jose will do to prove to you that you guys are giving me crap. I can't work with this. It's not a Carrick kind of thing. It's more like, okay, let me see where these boys are. that's more like what he will do. And also, let me not risk these guys are injured. Like using Sesko today, now you can use it, he scores, then the injury aggravates. So I can understand why he didn't use it then, as with the minor injury. But still, you've got to push. So the thing is that it's about cultivating the habit of winning. So it's not like you can win every game. There's no side that wins every game, but you have to try the attitude. I didn't see any attitude like time is going, 70 minutes, come on, let's get a goal. It just looked like, okay, we're not losing, we'll take a point, we'll go home. And I felt that wasn't good enough. And I felt like that attitude, if it first starts, we will always be an average team. The best team will just be top four, top four, top four. But as we deserve better self, Carrick needs time, he needs backing. But I worry about one or two things. I hope he can change it. If he can change his lineup like this, it means he's not rigid. But I hope he can change it because it worries me. I told you guys from the beginning that it looked like he was underestimating Sunderland because I didn't see the balance in the lineup that he selected. So, and at the end of the day, we're fortunate not to lose. So hopefully we do better against Forest and Brighton. Cars gets back.
Great call.
I'll go through a few of the comments and saying that Niche fan says that he thinks he's out of his depth. How do you feel like Widders are better? Like Kayode makes the point that he's obviously disappointed with what's going on. And so do you think it's a conversation that it's supposed to work that is Carrick out of his depth or do Man United not have enough depth seems to be to summarise it bluntly.
Well, it's a difficult one. Look, I'm an advocate for Carrick. I think for what he's done with no players of his own to come into a team that was at times demotivated, at times struggling, to just look at the team and provide a platform, put an arm around players, bring people back into the squad that had been isolated, get them to play, put people in position. Bruno looks completely revived, cement the midfield. And get Sesko scoring. You know, I think he got one goal under Amarin. Get Cunha scoring. You know, and Buma has kind of drifted off, but these things happen. We're still getting goals. To do all of that, to kind of get Heaven back into the lineup, albeit it happened as a result of injury, but Heaven has done well. Lamens has stayed consistent. So there's so many positives. We talked about how slow his subs were, how proactive his subs were. Amarin's subs were slow and defensive. Carrick was bringing in attacking subs. You've heard team members say they will die for this man on the pitch. That's a great dressing room there. You know, so that's the balance. That's how the regard I have for Carrick. So when I kind of just look at things today, all I'm pointing out is I just think there are things that he could have done differently. And we all know midfield has been an issue for us for over a decade. And hopefully if he gets those midfielders in this summer, that alleviates that issue. And if he gets a few more players in other rotational positions, then he's got a much better pool of players to dip into. He didn't have that today, but he did have different options. And that's my only criticism.
So another thing I'd like to add is if you watch our game against Liverpool when we're winning 2-0, Liverpool were at the worst point, but in the second half they tweaked something. So I was expecting that today we're at our worst point. Then in the second half we tweak something, begin to cause them problems, find an opening, find an inroad. I didn't see that. So it's not just about the scoreline. If he tweaked it and we cause them problems, we hit the woodwork, close save on the line, and say, oh, we're unlucky. But I didn't see that, and that. Then two, Carrick is a manager of Manchester United. So the expectation is very high. So we are not out of place to expect much from him, albeit he hasn't gotten signings yet. We are not out of place, given well he has done. So that also shows how we estimate of him. If it's Amorim, we'll be happy with it draw now. So, but hopefully things get better.
And then summarise, like put up something early on this about 5 minutes ago. Said under Carrick, it's 10 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats. Worst defeat is by 1 goal. And I think you a bit of feedback there, Cody. It made you sound like a robot. So with this, we're talking about one of the draws, but overall, I mean, we'll do better. Like, to put it in context, it's no. I will do a poll just to discuss this one. Like Daz says, we need loads of players in the first team plus a decent bench. This just highlight. I think this highlights the issue, doesn't it? That we've beaten Liverpool and Chelsea, but those two teams also have their issues as well. And we're having a conversation where we're third in the league, 2 games to go. And if you'd have told me this at Christmas time, I'd be thinking you've like hammered the Christmas alcohol, because it felt a bit unfeasible, didn't it? We kept playing on a Monday, and the conversation we had on Monday night was, oh, we're only 3 points off fifth or something, and now we're talking about, oh, we're comfortably third. And okay, the football hasn't been amazingly exciting a lot of the time, but it's a results-based business, and we didn't get back-to-back wins for about over a year.
36 matches took us to get 3 wins. Yeah. I mean, look, for me, I don't measure it against Amorim anymore, because I think 15th place was an anomaly. It's something that should never have been allowed to happen. What I measure on is what I've seen Carrick do, and that's what I measure on, because I hold Carrick in high regard. I just think he could have done better today. That's all. It's just my view. It's, and it's interesting to have everyone's view. I think, they could have got something out of that match, and I think they just didn't find a way to navigate it. We're going to come across loads of Sunderlands. If other teams look at that and think that's the way to play against Man United, they'll go down that route. So we need to find a way to play, to find those answers.
Joe's just saying that maybe some teams match up quite well against you. He says Sunderland, Leeds, Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle always a bit of a problem, a bit annoying with that one. And so I'll put a poll in the comments and say that should Carrick be in charge next season. People can have their opinion. And Vril says any manager will have issues with this season. I was going to say that. Can you imagine? It doesn't matter who. I can see like Tyrone, your device doesn't seem to have connected, Tyrone, but otherwise we could get you in. Is there any manager this will have issues next season? It's like when people were saying we should get in, I can't remember who, people like Nagelsmann or something. I think Nagelsmann won't make Ugarte an effective replacement for Casemiro. And Nagelsmann wouldn't have, at the start of the season, wouldn't have made Binder able to save shots. So there's kind of a limitation. I know I'm probably exaggerating, but there is a limitation, isn't there, with the squad? Like, nobody would think, if Man United finished second in the league, it would be somewhat of a miracle, wouldn't it? And there's no way we're going to do that. But if we finish like fifth, I think it's a tougher one, because you look at it and think, actually, we were that when he took over. But I think if you look at the record and forget, like, imagine you've not watched any of the games and you see the before and after record in terms of matches and wins, it would be a bit of a no-brainer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, entirely.
Like Mark says, if we were 6 points clear, someone would find something to complain about. I think what's crazy is that this is the one season where, considering that Manchester United have had really heavy defeats in the past, then the fans are still, there's always going to be like something you can improve on, isn't there?
Yeah.
Omar, there's a link in the chat, I believe, if you want to come on. I'll just post it again for people. It is pinned, but I don't know how it works with different devices. Okay, I think you are on. So I'll just go for a few comments. So the double over Liverpool, brilliant, isn't it? That's
brilliant. Yeah.
I think he's going to get sacked. Tony says results have masked how mediocre we've been. I think I think there's a combination of good results and results that have been kind of ground out. I think when you're having like some like this one, I haven't put a poll in the chat. Sorry, Vicky, I was being distracted by comments. But I think there's definitely good performances, but then there's a lot of scrappy performances. I don't think any team in the Premier League this season has really looked great all season. Like, I'm trying to think of any example. City looked quite good, then they kind of fell apart. Liverpool actually won the first 4 games, didn't they? So I don't know. Didn't Sunderland take points off Arsenal? I mean, Wolves took points off Arsenal.
Forest banged 5 against Sunderland. We can all go down that route. It's kind of like, I think we could have done better.
Everybody's beaten Chelsea recently, but Liverpool couldn't do that one. So, it's crazy. What I'll do, I'll put a quick poll in the chat. We got Omar joining, first time caller. Big up to you, Omar. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
I'm
guys?
good. You were saying in the comments that I don't know if it's like joking. You were saying you want to hear some ranting. Do you feel like this is the sort of like I was going to say like is it this game or is it like the season or how are you feeling about everything?
Honestly, it has to do with how we are run and also like decisions by of the board. Like Wilcox has been bad for since he came in. He wanted Baleba. Look, he wanted Delap first. Look how that turned out at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Then he wanted Baleba. He's had a bad season, and he sacked Ten Hag after giving him 300 million pounds. Then appointed Amram because what he's done with Sporting and stuff. But honestly, it was always bound to fail because his tactical system couldn't work with our club because our sets of players, to be honest, are not reliable on tactical adjustments. And in my opinion, the reason it hasn't worked out with Amram is we've never really backed him. Yes, the only player who really got that really fit his system was Cunha. But the other signings, honestly, Mbeumo, Sesko, I mean, they're good signings, I agree, but they never really fit his system. And also, you also have Lamens. I will congratulate whoever decided on the transfer. It's probably the goalkeeping coach. He's a goat.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeping coach identified him, and then I think Belal probably gave it the rubber stamp. But no, the coaches, I think the coaches have actually identified decent players, and then they sometimes choose the wrong ones. But no, everything you said regarding this one, I mean, if it's categorically all down to Wilcox's decisions, then I think definitely those decisions were poor. Like you don't bring in. I think we talked about this a lot on the channel that a lot of things have gone wrong. I think Christopher Vivell is probably the one person that's getting quite a bit of credit recently. I don't
Yeah,
know if it's 100% warranted because I don't know for 100%, but when you look at the media, it seems that he's one of the people that's pretty much looking at procuring players. He's got the contacts. He's the reason we've got Sesko and Lamans, for example. So there's positives with that. How do you feel about the Carrick situation? Because that's one where people would disagree a bit.
okay, so in my opinion, with Carrick is okay. He reminds me of the stint that Oli had, but the difference is with Oli at the start, like we were playing like better than what we did with Carrick. Of course, you had player like Pogba, you had Martial, Rashford, who were decent at the time, and it was still like counter-attacking football, like what we're playing right now. And also, like with Carrick, Steve Holland is his assistant coach, and with his track record with Southgate, I don't trust him, honestly. So, like, if I ever stayed next season, to be honest, I wouldn't trust this. Look how it turned out with England, who had way better sets of players, and they never won a trophy since, like, the World Cup in '64. But in my opinion, Carrick, uh, I mean, he got sacked by Middlesbrough. He finished 10th in the championship, so I don't get why we're even considering Carrick because you have options like Nagelsmann, you have Iriola, you have like even Glasner. I would take him over Carrick in my opinion, and also I think we should try and convince Enrique to join. I mean, he's
Omar,
another Champions League. Hmm?
what would you say to the opinion, say, Vincent Kompany, great servant for his club, like Carrick, got sacked at Macclesfield as Carrick did at Middlesbrough, gone to Bayern Munich and been prolific. What would you say to saying, well, why can Carrick not be the same at Man United?
Well, it's like a bit easier at Bayern and in the no, not Dutch, sorry, German league. And the sets of players that they have like probably the best striker in the world right now, Hurricane. They have one of the best midfielders pairings, Kimmich, Pavlovic. And the team itself is amazing. But in my opinion, to be honest, the appointment of company wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the mistake of sacking Nagelsmann. Because honestly, like he was doing decent until for some reason they just have fallout and they appointed Tuchel and you know how that turned out. Then they appointed company. But to be honest, like the style of play that company has, it represents Bayern. And Carrick, to be honest, I love the guy. He probably seems like a nice guy. He's a legend,
Yeah.
but his style of play is just not. It's not level that we need to be. Like look at teams like City, Arsenal, Liverpool when they was like battling for the leagues. Even like us back in the times, we all have a good style of play, attacking minded. But more important, a manager who can control the dressing room because this, to be honest, would not continue for next season. For next season, we're gonna see a lot of fallout. We're gonna see a lot of fallout, and you know how the players are light switch and can fail under pressure. So I don't, and we're losing a leader in Casemiro, so that would make it even worse.
What makes you think there will be fallout next season? And on the thing about character, do you not think we can bring in a midfield character in, especially that we've been connected with 2 or 3?
Well, we've been connected with Tonali, Chouameni, Baleba, Anderson, these types of players, but with the stories I've heard lately, Chouameni, to be honest, is a 50-50. I don't know if he's gonna join or not. Baleba, to be honest, I don't consider him as a leader. I consider him as a work in progress, a kid. He's like, and he's not even a 6, by the way. He's an 8. Like, if you look how he plays since the first season he joined in from Lille, and even at Lille, he was playing like an 8, who is good defensively and has really good ball carrying. Is a physical presence in the midfield, but he doesn't really suit how we play. And in my opinion, even if Carrick gets the job, we should like get him quality players because this will not last. We have no UCL this season. I mean, we had no European football. We were knocked out in the cups early, and we really had no midfielder who has the legs and helped out Casemiro until Amar Mutsakta and Menu came in. But since now Casemiro is gonna be gone, we should replace him with someone like a Chouameni, like a Tonali. Anderson, Baleba, I mean, they're interesting players, but to be honest, we need experience. That's what we need.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking that there's definitely some leadership in the team where you have. I thought the reason they extended Maguire was not just because De Ligt was injured, but also you need to have some. It's good to sign younger players, but you need to have that leadership that kind of we used to have in the 90s when we brought younger players through. So I thought Maguire, Casemiro is going to go. I think they're going to keep Bruno, and I think you need to look at, like, for me, Tchouaméni seems to be one of the maybe the closer fits, because I think if we're going to get Belal or Anderson or say Fernandez, there's a lot of players there that are good players, but I think you need to have something that Casemiro's got, the leadership and experience. And if you're going to go for somebody that's lifted the Champions League, that's played at the highest level, that for me would be a good signing. But I think that's applicable to anyone that's in charge. Like, if Nagelsmann comes in, work needs to be done on the squad. And if Carrick stays, maybe work definitely needs to be done on the squad again. But maybe you look at also the coaches at the club, because don't forget, when Amrin left, there was things put together quite quickly. They've now got more time to think about it. So the coaches they got with Michael Carrick, I think they've done a really good job, because the job was get Champions League football, job done. So really good job there. I think now you need to look at it and go, if Carrick stays, what coaches are available? We've got months to try and put together a better quality coaching team. If not, then I think at the moment it's really difficult to say what the best case scenario is, because whoever's in charge will have to deal with extra games and will need a better squad. And I think that applies to all the managers. So if Nagelsmann came in and the transfer window was disappointing, it's going to be so difficult. And I think a lot of us are hoping, like myself, with a better, and I guess other people watching, is we're just hoping that some of these targets we're lined up for actually come in, and maybe we do evolve as a team. Maybe there is a slightly different plan.
Yeah, I agree with you. To be honest, on the Maguire thing, people say he's experienced, but I say to myself, what is the actual experience in? Failure?
No,
I
I'd say
mean,
like you got to be take the club football out of it. You got someone that's represented England in 2 Euros finals, and okay, they haven't won, but England have never won the Euros. So 2 Euros finals, I think, is significant experience. That
I mean, honestly,
he was, yeah.
oh, okay. Oh, you were
I was
saying
going to say
something?
he was a key player. We don't beat Arsenal. if Maguire's not in the team this season. And I think it's like, for me, Aiden Heaven and Yoro are very good signings, but they're 19 and 20, and they probably need a Maguire, or if Maguire left, someone that's like 25, 26 with the experience and the physical presence and maybe the experience for the next couple of years. I'm hoping that Maguire and Aiden, hoping that Heaven and Yoro are our first team players, but you've got to be realistic. Like they're like 19 and 20, it's not going to happen immediately.
Honestly, I've been saying this for a long time. We're not a club where we can nurture players into their best abilities. Like Yoro, look at the difference between when we bought him in and now he's barely getting any minutes. Evan he's playing well right now. We're rotating him for some reason. He should have started, by the way, but I don't know what happened with that. I'm worrying about Heaven because he might end up the same, like Yoro on the bench and not nurtured until his best abilities. And I agree we need to bring experience in, but to be honest, looking at the game today, Maguire, like the two chances Sunderland had in the first half, Maguire was too slow, honestly. Like in a back four with Maguire, it doesn't work. Maybe in a back five, back three, but you need players who can play in a back four, who are quick, who can defend, who are good on the ball. Like let's say, for example, Schlotterbeck at Dortmund. You have Senesi at Bournemouth. There's options out there. Like we should not have given Maguire a new contract.
I just say that with Senesi, that he's not great in the air. So maybe there's a reason why some players. I think there's definitely attributes there. I would say I wouldn't be too worried about Aiden Heaven's career because he's so young. He's got so much time. I think it's quite good that he's not. I would be more worried if Man United were starting Heaven every single game, and it looks like they're relying on him. That they shouldn't be doing that. He's a young player, just come out of the academy at Arsenal. I think that he's got plenty of time. I'm kind of relaxed with Aiden Heaven's trajectory. I think he's done really well. He's played only about 20 games of professional football. He doesn't look out of place, and it's about a learning curve, isn't it? That how many centre backs do Man United sign at 19 that then walk into the first team? It's literally never happened. And so I do think you've got making some really good points. I think the key is going to be that if you sign younger players, that coaching needs to be spot on, doesn't it? Like really good. I think that's something that we all want to see. I'm just going to read super chat. Say big up to MD Samurai, very generous super chat, saying that Carrick doesn't know how to play or win United is an absolutely insane statement, and say Carrick has won it all with United, and say give you a ball, Carrick's perfect going forward. One of these things I was saying is that I remember talking to someone, it might have been on the phone actually, and it might have been to like a Liverpool fan, which is bizarre as a content creator. And when we talk about Carrick, this is just something that we were talking about, and he was saying that Carrick's obviously got the player experience, and I was thinking, when you have a question and go, what does Carrick know about setting up a midfield? And I was thinking he was literally in one, like winning the Champions League. So maybe I know it's a player experience is different to manager experience, but I think Michael Carrick's done a brilliant job, and if he's not in charge, he's made it more difficult for the next person because I think he's raised the standards of the club. I mean, what do you think readers are better? That whoever replaces Carrick now, we're finishing the league third. If we'd have finished like eighth, then anyone that comes in would have had an easier job. I think Carrick has at least raised the bar, or at least raised the standards a little bit.
I think he has, and I think it's that's why there is questions whether some of the managers in the Premier League that have been mentioned would do a better job, and because Carrick has such a good win record. I know it's only 15 games, but you can only do what you can do. That was the remit. He's got us into Champions League. Once we got to third, we've held on to third. There's been so many occasions where we've had a chance to the other teams have played. We had a chance to go forward, and we've gone backwards. So he's done that. He's maintained that. It's a good dressing room. We don't know what the dressing room will be like, but if he carries on the way he has today, I think the dressing room is in good stead next season. The players obviously like him. They're playing for him. They're Spite and Bigger. People are playing for the badge. These are all the things I want as a Man United fan. It doesn't matter in the whole scheme of things who the manager is or who the players are. I just want to see that the people in those places are sweating blood and tears, whether you're the manager, whether you're the owners, whether you're the players. And that's all I want as a Man United fan. And I want to see good attacking football. And for the most, I think we have seen that.
Yeah, we should. I was going to say as well, Omar, thanks for calling in because it's been a really good chat, and hopefully you come on again. And I just want to say massive thanks to MD Samurai for the gifted memberships as well. I'm going to go for a couple of comments and saying Dan says you need a mixture of old and younger players, and I go exactly. You need to have like for every Maguire and Alessandro Martinez, you want people like there at the door trying to fight him to become this one as well. I'm also looking at some of the comments as well. I saw with this one. Yali joined the comments, and I said, I think you joined Yali as we were being like we've gone through like some negatives and positives. You joined as we were saying that. I think looking at the bigger picture, in terms of like taking over in January, getting Champions League football was like kind of job done. But before you head off, Omar, is there anything you want to say, like any sort of final comments? But it's been it's been great to speak to you.
Yeah,
it's always good to get put a voice to the face in the comments as well.
Okay, so I want to reply to Samurai for a bit because that actually got me intrigued.
No, it's good comment, but yeah, keep it friendly.
All right. Don't worry, I won't go full Mark Goldberg right now. Okay,
it's about different opinions, isn't it? And it's go for it.
No, so you want to say something?
No, after you.
Okay. Thank you. So basically, with Carrick, I never said he doesn't know because he's a legend. He knows what United are. He's United DNA, but his style of play isn't reliable. It is not sustainable. And about the midfield thing, does Carrick really get to decide who gets to join or not? It's Wilcox. And you have also the Man City. He was at Man City. What was his name? Barada?
Yeah.
Yeah, he will be important as well.
And Vivel is quite prominent too, Vivel, in terms of signings.
Do you think with that, then, do you think with this situation that it's really like Carrick won't have had it had no say so far in terms of the squad at the moment, but apparently he's going to have some input for the future. And maybe, even if you're asking him as a coach, I think any coach would have input, not control. Like he's not going to be able to say what he wants, but he will have input. But I think what you're looking at is a situation where the squad that's here, Michael Carrick, his job is to get the best out of the squad. He's not going to be able to play a certain style of football that he feels isn't possible with the squad. So if Carrick was in charge I would say that if Carrick was in charge for maybe another couple of years, as an example, and we had this sort of performance, I think there's a very different analysis to that, where you look at it and go, what's going on here? He's had this much time. But I think when you've got a situation where you haven't had any transfers, you look at these players and go, right, what can I get out of this team? Then there's kind of going to be it's going to be like a ceiling, isn't there? So I think it's just a bad game, and hopefully we do a calling show next time and we thrash the team at home and there's lots of positives, but it's going to be up and down, isn't it? We beat Liverpool. People talk about Carrick in a positive light. We have a disappointing draw, and it's all a little bit of evidence, but there's still a difficult decision, I think, for whoever's going to make it.
Well, I agree with the whole. It's gonna be an up and down season. There's gonna be good performances. There's gonna be bad performances. But where I stand with Carrick is like even with the good performances, like okay, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool to extent, Tottenham, even though it was 10 men, but those performances were mainly like counter-attacking, parking the bus. But the only difference is the energy we had in those games. In my opinion, we used them from when we were under Amarim. With under Amarim, the training was more intense. You saw the energy of players, even though the football wasn't the best in my opinion. But Amarim got the players into great physical shape. Right now, the players do not look fit at all.
Do you think that, because with Ruben Amorim, I know a couple of people that are coaches, and just talking to a few of them, do you feel like with this one, I know that there's a perception that the team was a lot fitter. Okay, I can't say for sure, but there has been performances recently where Man United have actually run a greater distance than the opponents, but also Casemiro was struggling to make 90 minutes
60
under
minutes.
Amorim,
most games, yeah.
and he was getting substituted on about 60, 65, and Agata was coming in. So I think there's, I think Ruben Amorim's, maybe there was slightly, I can't say, maybe there was higher fitness with Ruben Amorim's system, but I think his system was fatiguing players over 90 minutes. Like it wasn't the amount of distance certain players had to cover wasn't really sustainable. I know we can say the players should be fitter, but I think it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, he could have gone to Man City squad and tried to do the same sort of thing, and I don't think it would have been effective.
Mm.
I think maybe Michael Carrick has got the best out of this team, but the idea is going to be that's a long way from saying he would win the title if he got better players. Like no one knows regarding this one. But I'm just like trying to argue and just say that there's different opinions. I'm not sure. All I would say is that I much prefer talking about the City and Arsenal game under Carrick than I did at the start of the season. But I take your point as well. We're going to have to move on to the next caller. But Omar, it's been a pleasure, and I see you in the comments sometimes as well. So please join the next.
My pleasure.
Good to speak to you, Omar.
All right, see you guys.
See you, Omar. Neil, welcome back, Neil.
Oh yeah, all right.
You're like a professional calling now. When I saw Neil back, I was like, Neil's like, the internet looks on point. It's like, Like,
I didn't see.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But
what channel was the game on today? So I didn't see it.
Paramount had it on as well.
I don't have Paramount, so I don't know. But I've been watching all the playoff games, and I'm watching City at the moment. I think Michael deserves a lot of credit, because you got to remember, none of these players are his. Well, not are they? How many did he buy? None of them. So none of them. I think he deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I think it's you're moaning because we only got a point per day, but I think it's a good point.
Me? I'm not moaning.
Well, you were when I said
Me?
Yes, you.
No, I'm not moaning. I love Carrick. You've seen me on this, Neil. I big him up all the time. I'm just saying there were things I feel.
So how many players from the normal team didn't play today?
So the point I would have said was with Heaven, I would have played Heaven instead of Martinez just because we.
I agree with you that.
I wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have played Zirk. I would have played Mbuma up top, and I wouldn't have played Mount in central midfield. I just wouldn't have done it, because we needed two defensive anchors. And if I was going to play Martinez, I would have played him there.
Brian's gone off the boy. I don't know what's the matter with him. Yeah, hasn't he? He's not playing very well.
He has.
No goals. I can't remember the last time he scored a goal.
I think it was February, wasn't it? The last time he scored a goal.
Under 21s look good. They beat Man City, didn't they?
They beat him yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe the cup final they got to play it on their training ground. Man United really asked and said, "Well, we can host it," and they said no because their training ground only holds 7,000.
Neil, can you be a darling and just turn that down? It's only because it's going to affect copyright because you can hear the commentary coming through.
Oh, sorry. All right, yeah.
Can I just read a few comments because I'm not laughing at what you're saying, Neil. I'm laughing at the kind of like arguments in the chat about a few things. But Solly's saying Amron needs better tools. Carrick did what he couldn't do, and then Kate make a good point. So Amron was terrible, had players in the wrong positions, and it showed, says Mo. And so Carrick won't have any players that his United doesn't work like that anymore. And then Niche fan goes a bit further and says Carrick's crap. And so Kate says the whole point of having a squad is you can rest and rotate. This is our exact problem because the drop-off is massive. Yeah, exactly. I think when you go from the first team, ever since Ollie, to be honest, like the first team has been a dreadful drop-off, isn't it? So
who played
that's why it's the wrong appointment.
Who's at top today?
Xerxes, wasn't he?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was Xerxes because Sesko's injured and Casemiro's injured.
Yeah, because he went into the boards, didn't he? Last game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got nothing for it.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, Xerxes didn't really do too much.
So what was the midfield then today? Who played in midfield?
They had Mount next to Mainu, which just didn't work. It didn't work.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I can understand. They took, like you said, they took the foot off the pedal, haven't they? Because they qualified. Really? What were 5 points in front of Liverpool?
We're now 6 because they drew.
Oh, yeah, that means we'd have to lose both our games, and I still think we got better goal average than them, haven't we? I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah, we've got 3 more goals more than them. But yeah,
I'm watching the City game, and they don't look like bloody scoring. I want them to win because I want it. I don't want just Arsenal win by easy. Did you see him? Arsenal fans going crazy when he won for the Champions League semi-final. I hope they bloody lose.
I turned it off.
I didn't see. I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, I try to avoid Arsenal fans in real life and on screen, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't have TNT, so I didn't watch that. But I just saw them on the news later on. They were going crazy, their players. Did you see one of them? I think it was TalkSport. That Arsenal, if they win it, the best team in Europe ever. Oh no, you've drawn 2 games. Man United, when we won the treble, we never lost a game. We won them all.
Yeah, we were unbeaten.
We weren't unbeaten in the 2008 Champions League as well. So
yeah,
I think Arsenal like to pretend, don't they?
Were we? Come on, can't say Man United were the best team ever, but this bloke was phoning in and talking to Cundy, and I can't remember who was the other one. Anyway, the bloke who used to play for Tottenham. O'Hara, innit?
Jamie O'Hara.
Yeah.
These people that had such amazing careers that no one can remember who they played for.
Yeah, they talking to him, and the Arsenal fans saying, if we win the Champions today, we're the best team ever. And the bloke said, why? So because we've only we won all our games. And he said, well, no, you haven't. You've drawn 2. He said Bayern Munich has made 6 teams throughout the season over the years have won all their games, and Man United was one of them. I think Bayern, Real Madrid, I can't remember. Well, how did he get that out? Then you can understand. I got some of my friends are Arsenal fans, but they're not deluded. Not like you hear some of my biggest. I watch their channel sometimes just to laugh at Ty. He won't have it. What you see one game today? Was it Watford? I think I can't remember. His excuse because they didn't win the game. It was wet and it's raining. I've seen it all.
Can I say something? Because what's really good is that it's the channel we've got. There's loads of fans from all over the world, and I think there's a lot of people that don't get the Arsenal hate. Like Jeff saying, what this Arsenal hate? I think it must be a UK thing because I know so many Arsenal fans. They're so annoying, and it's one of these things that it's been like that for as long as I can remember. Like before I started watching football, there was this hatred between Man United and Arsenal. Historically, our rivals are Liverpool, Leeds, and Man City, but the Arsenal Man United thing has just been something forever, isn't it?
I don't see Leeds as our biggest rival, Rich. What have they ever won? Nothing.
No, it's historic. It's war the road.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? I know because it's over the border. Because in Yorkshire we're Lancashire. I understand that, but they're not really. I don't call them a rival. Not for me, they're not.
I mean, I agree with
that. I understand why you say it, but I don't agree with it. What have they ever won? They've won nothing for a long time.
Exactly.
Where I live,
I'm not old enough to know if they've won anything.
I live in a small town. I've got some friends who support United. Then there's Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. They all support different teams. So, because I live about 45 minutes from Exeter. I should admit in Exeter because they got relegated, didn't they? So. Yeah, Exeter went down from Division 1 to Division 2. They got relegated last week. And Plymouth just missed out on the playoffs. Stevenage went in that instead. I watched that game. That was rubbish. Yeah.
There probably is. There's a few things behind the scenes. I think with like Man United and Arsenal, there was a massive fight in like I think it was the 80s. There was a battle of Old Trafford. There was like an early 90s.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, silliest.
Rich, I don't know if do you go to the games, mate? One with a hat on.
Yes.
What's your name? Your proper name, your first name.
G. You can call me G.
G. Do you remember? I don't know. It's cup game, Arsenal versus Man United. I can't remember what year it was. And there was a full Paul Davis and Remy Moses and kicking each other. And Remy just stood there. All the Arsenal players were going right, and Remy just stood there. Come on, then, one at a time.
I remember watching the news. Then, do you remember when Man United got fined, and there was a game in like late 80s, early 90s, and it was on the news because there was 2 red cards, about 5 or 6 yellow cards.
Oh
Both
yeah,
teams got
probably the game
suspended.
I remember.
They're just kicking the crap out of each other.
Sorry.
It's just for some reason it may be something that doesn't translate to different countries, but the Arsenal Man United thing is definitely a UK thing. But anyway, to go back to Man United, Neil, because like I said, I try to avoid any Arsenal stuff.
Yeah.
What do you want to see next season? Like, obviously you missed the game today, but what do you want to see next season? I've got a poll running about whether Carrick should stay, but it's kind of like it's 50-50 on us. Wow, so it's really close. So
what do I want to say?
No.
Good. That's a good idea. Right. We need a backup goalkeeper for a start. Because that bloke who's at Bristol City's come back on loan, he ain't going to stay. He wants first team football. So we need a backup goalkeeper. We may need 2 fullbacks because Shaw's getting home and I don't think Dallow's good enough. We need another centre half. I know we're not going to get all at once. Maybe 3 midfield players, a winger. And it's like, we need about 8 players, don't we? I know we're not.
This reminds me of Neil.
Sorry?
I was going to say this reminds me of like me asking my children for Christmas what they want, and then they have this massive list, and you go, right, okay, be realistic. Who's your top 3 then? Go right, put your most desirable presents at the top, and we'll see. But there's too much on the list, Neil. Like,
I know.
All, so what do we want?
Oh, if we can only have 3 players, 2 midfield players, and a striker.
2 midfield players and a striker, just 3. I think they'll get 5, Neil. I think we can be a bit more generous than that.
Well, all right, 5. So 3 midfield players, centre back, a striker. That's it. That'll do. I'll be happy with that. Then buy some more in January. But we never buy anyone in the winter, do we?
We used to. I mean, we used to get good
Bruno.
deals in January, and then
Bruno,
this
Vidic,
transfer window.
Evra, Dorgu, Heaven.
All I see lately is
Bruno
on
Fernandes.
other channels, the Sheikh, I can't remember what he's called. The Sheikh wants to give Man United money to build
Jason.
build the stadium, but he wants some shares. So all these rumors you see, well, are they true or is it just rubbish?
I don't believe anything I read anymore.
No, I don't know. You don't know what to believe, do you?
I've stopped reading, Neil.
Sorry?
I've stopped reading.
Because you don't. It's just, are they admitting it or is it just a lot of rubbish? You don't know, because you don't know what to believe anymore. Even Sky come out. Sheikh, whatever his name, is going to buy Man United. I thought, no, he's not. If he's going to do it, he would have done it ages ago.
What, is that recent that you've
it's been on there. United, Sheikh, whatever his name, he bought Man United for $7 billion. I thought, nah, rubbish. I've seen it on there on Google, on Facebook, and whatever, and it ain't true. So why put rubbish on there?
Yeah.
So when do it's got Nottingham Forest. Is that away or at home?
Nottingham Forest.
Next
match.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest and Brighton is away.
The Forest game is at home and the Brighton game is away.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh,
we'll be wearing a new kit, Neil. We'll be wearing a new kit on those last 2 matches.
You know what I was going to say about the new kit? Can I just say something about the kit? Do you remember when you used to buy a football kit? I was thinking about this yesterday. You know how sometimes things it annoyed me slightly. You know how we used to buy a kit? Like, say we had the one like from 1998 to 2000, one with the stripes down the sleeve.
Yeah.
You used to buy a football kit, they always cost a fortune, and it lasted for 2 years. As in, like the players wore it for 2 years, and then maybe about early 2000, it's like a new every single year. I haven't bought a kit for a few years because I feel like I've got most of the color combinations now, red with black.
Well, I
red.
will get. I will buy.
And
I will,
but what I was going to say is that it used to get one kit for 2 years. Now you get it's like one kit every year, and now it's like we're not even finished the season, and they go, right, forget that. We haven't even finished the season. We're on to the new one. And I was just thinking, bloody hell, are we going to have like 2 kits a season soon? Like,
it's 3, you know. I will get all 3 of them, but I'm going to wait till the season finishes.
you must have like where do you keep them all? Because I've only ever bought home kits. But
Well,
I've kind of
my own ones, I give them away to charity.
Oh, good man.
That's what I do, mate. Because there's a charity come round like for cancer, heart disease, and you put all your old clothes you don't want in a bag, and they take them away. So I don't keep them, Rich. Only
you
one
could
I
probably
got.
sell those on
I will
eBay and get
keep.
money and give that to charity. That would be.
Yeah, there's 2 I keep. 1963 FA Cup final one, I got that, and Paul Scholes one. You see, the others I give away.
Nice.
1963, did you say?
Yeah.
Wow, lovely.
The
Must
first
have been like-
I bought that because that's the first time that was when I started supporting Man United. I was
They really
7.
commercial then, because I remember like in the 90s, loads of people wore kits a bit more where I was. And I think the first kit I got was one with Cantona's name on the back. I've never had another name on it since. I used to like joke saying that, you know, when you used to have to buy a kit and you'd buy the number and then buy the letters individually. And my friend got Kanchelskis, who I think was number 14. It cost him a fortune because you had to
Oh
pay
my
per
God,
number.
the letters as
You're
well.
thinking like, you sure you want Kanchelskis? I mean, he's a good player, but that bloody hell, that's like a pair of 15 letters or something.
I would have
but
just put Andre on.
There is websites.
Just get Andy Cole. It's like the cheapest one.
Cheaper. There is websites you can get the shirts cheaper. I pay.
Yeah, no, I was talking about the 90s where it went into a shop and you get them pressed on in front of you and
Sports Direct.
Oh, City are winning. Dooku just scored, or whatever his name is.
Who?
Dooku.
Doku.
Yeah.
I think actually Neil, given charity, that's a good thing. Kate's got a question here saying, go through the starting 11, keep or sell. We'll do it quite quickly because my wife messaged me and we have to have some food. I can't just talk about football all day today. As much as it's been a really fun stream, and I think this is like one of the best ideas we've had for the channel. So should we go quickly like through the lineup? But Lamans is definitely
Stay.
So okay, I'll go through it and then you can just say what you think. So where is this? Let me just get it. So
Mazraoui's next, isn't he?
Okay, Mazraoui.
Stay.
Yeah, I'd keep.
Maguire. Oh, he's staying, isn't he?
One more year for Harry.
He's staying anyway, isn't he? He's just signing
one more year.
Martinez. Sell.
Yeah.
Sell. Yeah. He's too injury prone.
It's too short.
Sure.
He is. But I need my defenders to be 6 foot at least.
Sure.
Not necessarily.
That made me laugh.
Luke Shaw.
Sell.
I keep it. If we get another full back, she'll be right back up. Otherwise, sell him.
Mason Mount.
I want 2 players for every position. Mount sells crap.
Yeah, sell.
Sell. Ineffective.
Manu. Keep.
Of course, he's got to say Toby.
Too short, too injury prone, too angry. It's not a good combination, is it? It's too short, it's too injury prone. I thought he's a bit erratic sometimes.
Ahmad.
Ahmad Jallo.
Sell.
You can go Sunderland wanted, don't they? So you can go back there.
I'm
they did apparently want
by
him.
it. Yeah.
I think it would be sell. Sorry, Ahmad. I like you though.
I like him, but sorry. I know you're only 23, but we got to win.
He's not good enough.
Skull keep. Love Cunha.
I'll keep Cunha.
Will you keep Cunha, Neil?
Yes, of course.
Bruno
Fernandes.
Well, I'm not going to say he's my favorite player, Bruno, so he stays. One more year, and then he'll go, I think.
I remember having the same conversation about Giggs and Skulls, thinking we'll get one more year out of these guys, and we had them for about another 6 or 7 years.
Yeah. I love this version of Bruno. This is my favourite version of Bruno of all the years he's been here. So if he carries on like this, stay, definitely.
Yeah, sorry, Xerxes, but you're gone.
He has to go.
Taxi for Xerxes.
I think if we told Xerxes we were keeping him, he'd be like, no. I think Xerxes is on his way, isn't he?
What are the chat saying on that 11?
So we went through that pretty rapidly, to be fair. So what do
Are you
people
not
think?
going to do the whole squad then? Just some of the players?
Just the 11,
just the starting 11 for Cake. It said Bruno said so. Bruno keep Ahmed too harsh, but sell. Everybody says the same thing, don't they? That
it's horrible. You don't want to do it, do you? But it's kind of like.
Well, you have to. You have to do what's best for the club.
Cutthroat business.
Yeah, that's football, isn't it?
I think like how long is it? Like 2 years? That kind of like that's Man United's idea that give them 2 years. If you don't get improvement or whatever reason it is, so like Kate said, starting 11. I think that the wider squad and Mbeumo you keep would be one.
Would you sell Dello?
Yes, not good enough.
Yes.
Well, I might keep him actually, because I don't think they're going to sign a right back, and I think
yeah, Rich, I agree. If they don't sign anyone, you have to stay, won't it?
I think it could be just defensive, and then we get a left back as a replacement for Luke Shaw or cover for Luke Shaw, who's actually I would sign Kayode maybe, who can play left or right, and then effectively. It's tricky, isn't it? Because I can't say if I said we're going to sell Dallo, no Man United, we'd probably buy a worse player, and I think we've got too many other things to do.
Worse than Dallo.
It can't be any worse, you know.
Thing is, okay, you joke, but Man United have done that in the past, where we have players where people go, right, get rid of this guy, and then go, right, who do we bring in instead? And we bring in someone that's worse. Like, do you remember when people said get rid of David De Gea, for example? They said get rid of David De Gea. We need a different goalkeeper. We need a ball-playing goalkeeper. We got Onana. And I said, I'll be open-minded. And after about 3 games, I was like, okay, this looks really, really bad. Like, really bad. So, and then he was terrible. So what I'm saying is that sometimes you need to be, like, it's not always going to be, we have to hope that the scouting's improved massively and the decision making improved massively. But it's a good point, isn't it? Like you could get someone worse. So,
I mean, Onana and all that are the Glazers, aren't they? And I think the signings since are Ineos, so possibly.
Do you remember that game?
Hit rate.
Do you remember that game, like Play Your Cards Right, where you turn over a card and it's like it's an ace or a 2, and you go right higher,
lower.
And I think with like this one, I think Dallo's like a 6 or something or 7. So you think, yeah, you could get a better player, but you know, with a binder, he's like a 2, so you're going to get a much better player, and that's kind of where I see it. I think with Dallo, he's an effective squad player. I don't mind him. I think in some games he can look quite good, but yeah. So Omar said this is kind of the first time we've done it, Omar, and we want to try and do it more regularly. And I think this could be something we do every match, because I think it could be a lot of fun. And it does give. We probably had about 10 callers on today that have come in, and the idea is that if we did this every game and people expect it and they know it's going to be a call-in show, we can do this every game. There's only a few games left, but then maybe people can come on for like slightly less time and we get through people quicker. But this was the first test, and I think it's worked really well.
I wonder whose idea that was.
Yeah, do you know what we said? We had like a little discussion, and we did say that we Isabella will take credit for it if it goes well. If it went really badly, it was G-Wolf's idea. And I was like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. If it's really bad, if it's a really bad idea, it was G-Wolf's idea. But I did say to G-Wolf, like, you know, he was great. He did a great watch long. I sent him a link. He was welcome to come on, but I think he's just a bit busy. But we will do this because it's something we wanted to do for a while. We do a call-in show on a Sunday evening, like 7 p.m. And this is something I thought would be really good idea. And I said, like, because this is what we thought, actually. We said it would be a fun idea to do a call-in show where everybody gets an opportunity to come on, express their opinions in a friendly environment where There's some people have come on and said they think there's loads of problems. They don't really trust Carrick, or they're disappointed by the game. There's been some people that come on quite positive, looking at, and it's been a really good format. I think I've really enjoyed it. And built to Samurai, you've been so generous with the memberships as well. And one thing we will be doing is, for people that are channel members, we will post a link on the YouTube channel under the membership section. You can post comments on the community page. I'll post a link in that to join every stream after a match, and I'll post a link as well for like calling shows. So you got an advantage, but to be honest, like we're going to try and get everybody on as well. That's what we're going to try and do. And like the calling show was, I'd say that was G-Wolf was trying a few different things as well. We're just trying to like do things a bit differently and trying to do something that isn't always done by other channels. That's what we're looking at. Like myself, with a better G-Wolf, we're kind of thinking behind the scenes what people would like to see. So I know this is kind of a really long stream and it will be shorter, but this is kind of quite good market research feedback, I think, where you tell us what you enjoy, and if I'm on screen enjoying it and Wizards of Bet is enjoying the environment and people feel happy to come on, then I think it's worked quite well. I think it's been like a good, and hopefully, say G-Wolf coming up. No, G-Wolf's got good technology. I think one thing that's difficult to say is that when you're doing a live stream and you're trying to like use websites to draw information and things and software, then websites kind of update, and like it's kind of frustrating because there's not much you can do. There's only so much you can do when you're live, because sometimes people try to join the call in and just the internet connection goes. Or I was on a stream actually, We Deserve Better, where I kind of disappeared and then come back on and go. And actually, the very first few minutes of this stream, I had so many windows open, I just disappeared from this stream and then came back on. So luckily, it wasn't a solo stream. Yeah, G-Wolf was right. Like we had a war chest last season. So am I open to suggestions? There's a Discord which I'll pin a link. We're open to suggestions. Obviously, there's only so much that's viable, but we will be trying to do a few things. But we will have to wrap up in a second. Anything final you want to add, Neil?
Are you going to do anything about the World Cup in June?
Yeah, we're going to do loads for the World Cup. Honestly, I watched all the World Cup. I think we just better watch all the World Cup. G-Wolf watched all the World Cup. I'm thinking that we do the same format for Man United games we do for the World Cup, and we have fans doing watch-alongs and then calling shows to discuss the game. Obviously not as long, because there's going to be a huge amount of games. It's going to be crazy, isn't it? And I'll have to check the schedule, but there's going to be some late night stuff as well. So I feel it could be a lot of fun, and it could be quite a good way to grow the community. Particularly it's a worldwide fan base, and we're going to be talking about every single country playing football. And to be honest, there's going to be loads of Man United. We're probably linked to a player in almost every single country, apart from maybe some of the very minor, obscure ones that have qualified recently. So there'll be like Anderson Watch. There'll be who else are we looking at that we might want to sign? Tonali will be sat at home, so we'll some of the other targets, but
I can't see United getting Anderson. I think it's too expensive. Good player, but not 120 million or whatever their quote was. Too much.
I'll just post a link to the Discord if people want to like suggest things, but bear in mind that there's only so much we can try and do. But I think we're open to suggestions, just because it's enjoyable and it's fun to get involved in these sort of things. The World Cup, I think, is going to be an interesting time, and I quite like the drama of the competition. I'm just hoping that it goes well. So I'll just put a link to this.
I was going to say, just before we go, what's the poll result?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Let me just post the
what's that?
Discord.
There was a poll, Neil, running about whether Carrick should get the job next season.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's really close. Really close. So let me just I'm just gonna I'll just close the pub. I'm gonna, if you want to vote,
Neil, jump in quickly.
The link to the Discord there, I'll just pin it so that it's there. If you want to join if you want to get involved in the Discord, there's about 80-ish accounts there. And but also really, really good one as well.
Smash the like if you haven't already. It's really appreciated. It's a free way to support the show and share and subscribe.
400
it's really
pages. This
appreciated.
reminds me of like that thing that Rachel gave Ross in Friends to read, and he just didn't read it. But just if you're, I'm not the what's the word? I'm a quick reader, but if you got something, shorter as a like bullet points, maybe we can go with that. Okay, so let's
2-0 City now.
2-0.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Haaland just scored.
He's in my fantasy football team, so that's the silver lining for me. Right, let's have a look at the poll. So this was a suggestion. So Valentine says you're going to message me. I'm glad that you're interested. Should Carrick be in charge next season? No, say 60%. Yes, say 40%. Is that a surprise result?
Well, I think it is. So,
It was,
all
50,
right,
it was
people
like
say
52% positive when I looked at it the first time.
people say no to Carrick. Who do they want?
There's not many available, is there? Really, that's the thing.
Yeah, but we tried all the top best managers. None of them worked. Why not give Michael a chance? Can't do any worse than some ones we've Amaran. Can he? Can't do any worse. He's United through. He's United through and through. He loves the club. You know, who do you get? Namson? Nah, not for me. There's only one bloke I would have, and he's Brazil manager. That's the only one I would have.
He's signed an extra contract, isn't he? So he's staying there longer.
Yeah, well, I don't want no one else. I'd rather have Michael. After what he's done, I think he deserves a chance. I know.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. The chat have voted though. The chat have turned on Michael Carrick after this result. I tell you what we'll do, Neil. Next time
we got a point, better than nothing. He got us third.
It's my channel. I can't vote. So
why can't you vote?
I can't vote. It's like
why?
As in, like I set up the poll. I can start the poll and end the poll. I can't vote. It's just that it's not because I choose not to. It's because I can't vote because it's my channel. I could probably open up different windows and create a different YouTube account and vote. But to be honest,
oh well, you can't.
Hey, what? Grow my mustache and beard. No, if after about 5 days it gets really, really itchy, and that's not a good reason. But if I did that, then no. I mean, that guy got attention and fair play, but it's not the sort of attention I want. So, this is why Cake says this is why Cake obviously didn't want to come on screen because
he's always moaning. Cake's always moaning, isn't he? God, he's worse than an old woman.
I'm going to start to eat my hand in a moment.
It's his character. It's opinions, isn't it? It's different opinions. That's what's been good about this show is that we've had pretty much every opinion. We are about to wrap up.
I haven't eaten all day. I said I'm about to eat my hand.
I know. I've got a curry as well to eat.
I've got to cook.
It's making me hungry. It's making me really hungry. Big up to you, MD Samurai. Said the people saying no to Carrick are looking for Harry Potter to be the next manager. Like we need some magic to correct the ship that Carrick has already corrected. Third, Champions League and bad players doing well. So you'll agree with this a lot, Neil, won't you?
Yeah, you know what happens. Say they give it to someone else and he doesn't do well. They turn around and say, "Oh, we should give Michael the job." Some people you can't please.
Yeah, to be honest,
I agree with all of that. The last bit, I don't think they're bad players. I think they're quite good players. I think we've been quite fortunate with some of the players we've got in that team.
Yeah,
fighters.
If Michael started the season, I'm not saying we won the league, but we'd be challenging for it.
You know what I think of that? I know if you look at the points from January, then we recruit. I think what's happened is like Lamans wasn't in. We didn't have Lamans in goal for a few games because we hadn't signed him. So I think we'd have always had a drop off at the start. Sesko wasn't ready to start when he first joined Man United. And I think there's been an understanding that's built up between Bruno Fernandes and Cunha in particular, but also when Dorga was in the team. And I think that took time as well. So I do think that Michael Carrick would have got better results than Ruben Amorim, but I think he would have still had a bit of teething issues at the start of the season because of integrating new signings. So I think I don't know if we'd have been, I don't know, it would have been closer, but I don't know if it'd have been close enough to be in a title race. Maybe that would have pushed other teams on, possibly. I don't know. But it's a good point.
We'll never know, will we?
Yeah. But we're going to wrap up. Massive thanks to Andy Samurai for the super chat and everybody else.
Yeah, you had no fingers left in a minute.
I know.
No, I'm getting hungry. We did say we were going to do it for 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's always the way.
It's always the way. It's always the way. Big up to you, Neil.
I had much to eat today. I haven't been very well. And my wife's got tummy bug.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you well soon.
Yeah, but she's been sat on the toilet most of the bloody day. Kept me awake all bloody night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm no longer hungry.
Neil, let me just do the exit. I was going to say, thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Renee. Vicky,
I didn't want to
as
go.
well. Omar. Who else has been on? Neil, obviously. And Kayode came on. And I think, is there any other people? I'm probably forgetting somebody. But everyone that came on, thanks for coming on. Thanks for contributing to a great show. And hopefully we'll get you guys on next time as well. It's been a lot of fun. And we're going to head off for some food now. So thanks, guys. And we'll catch you in probably the next calling show will be tomorrow. So if you want to get involved, discuss something tomorrow night, please do so. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.